Make America go away. That's the subject of today's video, and this is actually a hat coming from Greenland. This is now going viral as Trump, Musk, Vance, all these people want to take over Greenland, and that's the response. Make America go away. Pretty clever hat, if you ask me. And this is the headline. Trump says U.S. Will go as far as we have to get control of Greenland. That's what Trump says. People in Greenland say, Yankee, go home, or uh, we are not for sale. Trump's language on this thing, he says, I think, will go as far as we have to go. We need Greenland, from Trump, and the world needs us to have Greenland, including Denmark. Denmark has to have us have Greenland, and we'll see what happens. But if we don't have Greenland, we can't have great international security. I view it from a security standpoint. We have to be there. When I read the language from Trump, he just sounds really insecure. He's like that insecure boyfriend of like, we have to be together. You have to know about my love. And, essentially the girlfriend is like, just go away, Donald. Please go away. Make America go away. Now, where is Donald getting these ideas? Maybe from Putin. This is actually also a headline today. Putin predicts Trump will systematically go after Greenland. Wonder why Putin is saying that. And he's it's real. Putin says U.S. push for Greenland rooted in history. And I wonder. I'm just wondering here if Putin is egging Trump on to go after Greenland, so we waste all our resources and our time doing this kind of thing, trying to buy people who don't want to be bought, etc. This is what the White House is doing today. They actually tweeted this out. This is not a joke. It's I guess that would be Homan maybe, the border czar, and arresting someone, and they're putting it in cartoon form. I'm just showing you guys what the White House is putting out, and at first I thought it was a joke. I mean, seriously, I didn't think they would actually tweet something like this out. But I mean, whenever we can't think they can go any lower, they do. And so then I'm just showing you the hat. Make America go away. What's else going on with the Trump world? Well, the economy forecasts don't look so great. It says here, U.S. economy is facing a long-term slowdown, crimped by debt and declining birth rates. That's coming from the Congressional Budget Office. A lot of what Trump is doing, planning to do, along with Musk, is basically making a situation in USA kind of accelerate into the wrong direction, right? So if we're already having growth problems in USA, he's just going to make the growth problems even bigger. If we already have debt problems in USA, he's going to make the debt problems even bigger. That's what it boils down to. And their plan is to fire everyone. Well, not everyone. I'll tell you the actual numbers here. It says internal White House document details layoff plans across U.S. agencies. So this leaked. This hasn't been available to the public, but according to the document that was leaked to the Washington Post, it says here, federal officials are preparing for agencies to cut between 8 and 50% of their employees in the first phase of the Trump administration push to shrink the federal government. According to internal White House documents obtained by the Washington Post, that contains closely held draft plans for reshaping the 2.3 million person bureaucracy. Now, from my understanding of what Trump and Musk have planned, is basically cut services that you need, cut Social Security, these kind of things, but increase spending to military. They're also trying to reorganize organizations to essentially try to give themselves more control, and spend more of our resources on deporting people. That's their plan. They also, here it says, the details are compiled from plans that President Donald Trump ordered agencies to submit, according to two people familiar with the document who spoke on condition of anonymity because they were not authorized to talk about it, right? So we kind of know what's going on, but they haven't released this yet. And also, too, this would be very sensitive for the Trump to be like, hey, we're going to fire everyone. The numbers which have not been released to the public show what could be the next efforts that Trump says will make the government more accountable, but also have upended agency functions and triggered restraining orders from the courts, right? So, employees are saying, hey, you're firing us without good cause. Courts are also, ordering restraining orders because remember, Musk wants to essentially replace people with AI. He wants to get your data, get his hands on your money, these kind of things. That's what they're doing. They're also ruining our relationship with our friends. This is Mark Carney over in Canada. He's saying, Mark Carney says old Canada-U.S. relationship is over. And the basic idea is that they want to work with more reliable countries. That's their phrase. I'll read a little bit so you guys can see what I'm saying. It says Prime Minister Mark Carney said on Thursday that Canada's old relationship with the United States was over and vowed that there would be broad renegotiation of the trade agreement between the countries. Speaking in Ottawa after the meeting the nation's provincial premiers, quote, let's see right here, yeah. The tariffs imposed by U.S. President Donald Trump would force Canada to rethink and reshape its economy and seek, quote, reliable trading partners, right? Trump's not reliable, right? Musk isn't reliable. I mean, these kind of people are, they waffle, they fire people on a whim, they get angry, they behave like a toddler, essentially. They'll, break things and they'll say, oh, I'm so sorry. And then they'll try to fix it again. It's incredibly inefficient. They'll fire you, rehire you, fire you again, send out conflicting emails. That's who these people are. Here's more from the quote. The old relationship with we had with the United States based on a deepening integration of our economies and tight security and military cooperation is over. The time will come for broad renegotiation of our security and trade relationships. So chances are Canada will want to have strong relationships with, say, the UK, France, Germany. They could do separate, relationships to strengthen, say, South Korea, China, Japan. I'm talking about Asia, maybe Australia, New Zealand. I mean, there'll be a whole other trading bloc that doesn't include USA because USA is not reliable. And when you have a White House that's tweeting out this kind of stuff, it's like, how do you take these people seriously? And this is actually serious stuff that we're talking about, which I'll show you, sort of what they're doing. White House was also tweeting this out today, just 46 minutes ago. Tell me you're a freedom-loving American without tell me you're a freedom-loving American. And they have a picture of a guy with a 50 caliber rifle and full auto, right? That's what they consider to be a true American, I guess. The cartoon I'm showing you is actually of an arrest. They're saying it's a drug dealer, so I have no problem with that, but I wouldn't turn this stuff into cartoon memes kind of things. It's just not something that I would do, and especially if you're the White House. So there's that. I'm just showing you where the origin of this comes from. And the problem is though, is when you see this, it has a lot of implications of how people will read this. And I'll leave it at that. On top of that, if you're kind of curious, like who runs the White House account over on Twitter, or the kind of people that Trump and Musk hire, well, this is just breaking. This is 2 days ago, and I missed this one because there's so much craziness going on all the time. But this is wild. Trump's White House faith advisor, and I remember they did pick someone to be like the Christian faith advisor of the White House, right? That's like the new position they created. Promises 7 supernatural blessings for 1,000 gift. So basically, you can give her a bunch of money, and they'll bless you. They're gonna claim her name is Paula White. She's gonna claim, oh, this is a big smear. You're all making up lies, etc. I mean, I saw the video for myself. It's right here. So these are the 7 blessings. If I pay the White House faith advisor, $1,000, I can get, I guess, assign an angel to you. So you can get an angel. You can be an enemy to your enemies. Okay, great. These are blessings, I guess. Give you prosperity, take sickness away, give you long life, cause increase for you, and a special year of blessing. So send your $1,000 today. Anyone who's ever seen these kind of people, these kind of televangelist people, you guys don't know, I'm 50, so I grew up in the 80s, and I remember was it the Trinity Broadcasting Network? I think that's what it was called. The Jim and Tammy Faye Baker. Was it Jimmy Swaggart, I believe his name was. I remember all these people there that they were on TV doing this kind of stuff, saying, if you don't give me money, I'll die, that kind of thing. I just want to show you who these people are that Trump hires, and you understand it all together. It makes it more easier because you're like, okay, do you trust person? If you don't believe the $1,000 thing, there it is right there. It's an honor God with your Passover, Easter, resurrection offering of $1,000 or more, actually. So hurry while supplies last, because I guess blessings do run out, right? And this is the Musk guy. He's in fights over video games. I saw this yesterday. I didn't have time to look it up because it's like there's so much nonsense all the time. But I'll explain what it is. So I guess there's all these people really mad about a video game called Assassin's Creed. I haven't played this one. If you guys have, you can let me know. And he interacts with this account. It's Ian Miles Chong. And it was interesting because this account was referred to in the Senate hearing when they were talking about security, because Tulsi Gabbard also interacts with this account. And I guess this account is this person used to be a correspondent for the Russia propaganda media. It's was it the Russia Today? And they're mad because they're saying, in their words, is that this is DEI, and you know, why would you have a black samurai? Why would they be gay, etc. So I looked into it, and it's not exactly what they painted out to be. It's always the same with Musk. It's always misinformation. So the basic gist of it is that there are two characters that could be your love interest. You could go with the guy, or you could go with the girl, depending on you know who you want a preference for your character. So if you want to be gay, you can, and if you don't want to, you don't have to, right? That's essentially what this is. It's not a big story for me. I don't care what they're doing in video games, but I'm just telling you what it is. You have a choice. So it's a bit misrepresentation of what it is. Also, I thought was pretty interesting. This is actually a real figure in history, though. Yasuke, and I guess it was a samurai. It says of African origin. That's pretty interesting. That was back in what 1555, and then died in 1582. I want to mention this because, you know, for me, you guys may not know this, I am totally trans when it comes to video games. I mean, completely. That's what's fun for me. So, for example, when I was a kid, true story, I really liked Sonya Blade to play Mortal Kombat. So, I don't know. I always prefer playing the girl characters myself. Sonya wins, right? And because she'd had like this leg thing, and I used to play with the friends that we had a PlayStation, and I remember you'd hit the top two buttons, and it would like do a leg grab, and you'd flip them over, whatever. But just the way that the female characters would fight in these games was fun because it was more about dexterity. Sometimes the dude characters are kind of more strength. It just depends what kind of way you want to fight. I like fighting like a girl, and I have no qualms saying about that. So another games, guys, I'm totally trans. I like to be a green dinosaur. True story. Yoshi is my favorite character in Mario Kart. I don't remember this B car because I played it on the old Super Nintendo way back in the day, so I don't know which version of Yoshi this is. But throwing turtles, you know, being new characters, etc. So for me, this whole thing, and I just want to be honest with you about this stuff. If you want to play whatever characters you want to play and have whatever love interest you want, I think including more options for players to explore whatever, you know, game world they want, no problem. Do whatever you like in your life, the same way that I like to play girl characters in games. And I'd like to hear from you. Do you like to play boys or girls when you play fighting games? I know it's kind of a ridiculous thing, but I know we all have different preferences. Like I remember, you know, when you pick the character and you're scrolling through and there's like 40 characters or whatever, and there's like you're just attracted to some, and that's just how it is. So I like Sonya. Maybe it's the green, it's subconsciously. I like Yoshi, then there's that. Musk is also doing a new $1 million lottery thing again. And there's so many scandals with these people. Like this isn't even headline news because this is just one of many things. He did this before in Pennsylvania, so you sign his petition thing. It's like a lottery, and you get a chance to win $1 million. But Musk is actually worried that they're going to lose, which is actually quite interesting. So this is regarding a judge election. It says here difficult but not impossible, and already polling data, I guess, from Polymarket saying there is a 90% chance liberals will win the upcoming Wisconsin Supreme Court election. So Musk is kind of concerned about that. And on top of that, guys, which I want to share with you again, the economic news isn't great under Trump and Musk. It says U.S. debt burden to top, World War II peak in coming years, Watchlike says. So basically, we're borrowing more and we're going into deficit spending, and our growth is slowing. That's what it boils down to. There was a big thing, though, that really caught my attention, though, is that there was a change in the prediction of when the U.S. population will go into decline. This part's new to me. I didn't know this because I was thinking it was like 2070 when the U.S. population would peak. But I guess now the predictions are changed. It says here, the calculations assume long-term U.S. growth will be slightly lower than anticipated a year ago. The CBO believes that lower growth is largely down to less immigration. So I guess they're factoring in the stuff that Trump and Musk are up to. With the U.S. population set to start shrinking in 2033. So that's actually pretty soon. And we have a demographic issue on our hands. And this is not just USA. It happens many different countries around the world. Just for example, in Japan is an aging society, and they need a lot of home caregivers and you know, nurses and these kind of things. So They take immigration from like Philippines and local countries to come and take care of elderly people because there's a lot more elderly people than there are young workers. And so the USA situation, if we cut immigration and we have like this major, baby boomer and, population and people aren't having as many kids today. It's just how it is in modernity. You're going to have this imbalance. And so, and then on top of that, you have the policies that Trump must want to do where they want to fire people, cut taxes for the wealthy, policies that are going to screw services for people down on the economic scale. It's a recipe for disaster, to be pretty frank. So I just try to tell you guys what's going on. I think they're going to get crushed. The Republicans are going to get crushed in the midterms probably. But you never know. That's why we watch this stuff, and I want to hear your thoughts. And I'll catch you all in the next video.